So in today's lesson with Angus is what is a calorie? So I'm sure you've heard this before, but a calorie is a unit of energy. But where does it come from? So calorie starts life, or that unit of energy starts life in outer space from our sun. And it comes down to Earth as a ray of light. So that rays of light, or the sunshine, comes down to Earth and gets trapped in plants in a process we call photosynthesis. And we've all heard that word before, but what it is basically the light comes down, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, CO2, we already know that, and water, H2O, get drawn into the plant and then get chemically stuck together through photosynthesis. And then that plant grows with those elements. And as those things happen, oxygen comes out, or O2. So just to break down carbon dioxide, CO2 means one carbon, two oxygens. H2O means two hydrogens, one oxygen. And O2 means two oxygens. So these are just actual atoms. So through photosynthesis, the plants restructure these into carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And also when maybe like a cow eats a blade of grass, or eats way more than a blade of grass, that then these carbons or atoms, should I say, restructure into protein. So if you look at this looks super complicated, but it's not. If you see every O you see there is oxygen, every C you see there is a carbon, every H you see there is a hydrogen. You already know where they come from. They come from the water, from the CO2 in the air. The only one that's a little bit different is the protein. It has an N for nitrogen, but that doesn't matter too much just now. So carbohydrates, fats, and protein all have hydrogen, oxygen, and carbons, and they're just the way they're structured is different, but the actual elements are exactly the same. And they also contain, through the bonds, contain chemically that energy from the sun, which is actually really what the calorie is. So all those atoms plus the energy are protein, fats, and carbohydrates, which are also known as the energy nutrients. And they enter the body. The sunlight gets stripped away and becomes movement or cellular action in a semi-complicated process, but it really doesn't matter. All you need to know is that energy, or that calorie, then becomes movement. You burn calories moving about, or your cells do through action. And then we breathe out the waste product as carbon, as CO2. So we breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. The more carbon dioxide we breathe out means the more calories we're burning, and the more of those bonds are getting broken, and the more waste product we're creating. So like I said, we breathe out CO2. That CO2 could actually be measured through various devices. There's an indirect calorimeter that collects this. You could breathe it into a balloon and freeze dry it. There's a really good TED talk on this that kind of explains that. The more actual weight in carbon, so about a pound, not a pound of fat, 10 kilos of fat is about 8.4 kilos of carbon that you could actually weigh if you were to collect it all. And the rest of the fat comes out as water, 1.6 kilograms of water that would just get dissipated through your sweat, through your pee, etc. So you can actually measure the carbon coming out. And that CO2 that we breathe out becomes that carbon dioxide that gets trapped in the plant, and the whole cycle goes round again. So in short, what a calorie is energy from the sun trapped in plants that then our cells break down and release into usable energy within our body, and we dissipate that energy off. So that big whole complicated process, you don't have to go around figuring out and burning food to figure out the calories. Scientists have already done that, and they've actually put the calories onto food labels, which is crazy. And if we were just to look at the food labels, we would know how many calories are in food, or how much of the sun's energy is in that food, which gives us our energy. If we don't burn enough energy in a day, we will store it as body fat. It will get changed back into fat in our body, or we can dissipate it out as carbon dioxide and movement. If you learned something, please like and share. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much.